It's the year 201 BC. 5 years after the end of the First Macedonian War, King Philip of Macedon was raging through the Aegean and Asia Minor. Having already won a major naval battle earlier in the year, he had his eyes set on the city of Pergamon. Defending the city was none other than Attalus I of Pergamon. Having just narrowly evaded capture during the aforementioned naval battle, he was ready and waiting for anything that the Macedonians might throw at him. The battle for Pergamon had begun. Alright guys, hello, this is Havoc. Welcome to another Ancient Empires battle. Today we are doing the Siege of Pergamon. I hope you enjoyed that intro, and today I have quite the epic battle going on. As you can see, we're already getting started, and so I'm actually going to hit pause here so we can go over everything to kind of set up. There will be a unit, or a card in the video which will hopefully tell you to skip to the battle. If I forget it, I do apologize, but just zoom forward until you hit it, because this is going to be kind of a long intro. So, Petilius, who is one of the devs of the Ancient Empires mod, which is of course a Total War Attila overhaul mod, has asked if a couple of us guys who have access would do a couple of historical sieges. Now, the kind of context that I gave you guys, I think actually like kind of did happen, but there's no like solid concrete historical evidence, so it's sort of fictitious, sort of not. And according to the histories, if this battle really did happen, we don't win this battle as Macedonians. It is of course Macedonia versus the Kingdom of Pergamon, but we will definitely see what goes on in this battle. But we have just an absolutely ginormous battle, and of course I am playing against none other than whoever. If there's one person I want to play a siege with, it's gonna be Pixelated Apollo, because he has the way he does battles. They are very much, he makes them cinematic. He does things that not normal Total War players would in order to really get that cinematic feel, and I really appreciate him coming out and helping me with this battle. So today we are playing as Macedonia. We are playing against the Kingdom of Pergamon. We're going to go through the unit rosters, and they are extensive, and then we will get right down into the battle. Now we are playing with what, 11,000, almost 11,300 troops on the field. These are almost 240 stacks. So we'll start with over here with my Macedonians. You'll see the card pop up on the left that gives the layout of my troops, and then let's go through them. On my left flank, on my left attack, this isn't even a flank, on my left attack point, we have a unit of battering rams led by some peltasts, which are going to be some pike infantry tier 3. And they will be pretty good in the battle ahead. We have 3 units of mercenary Thoracitai. I apologize for butchering the names of these. A lot of these are really kind of hard to pronounce. So these guys are pretty sweet. They are some spear infantry, those Thoracitais, and so they'll be pretty good in battle. I love just the chiseled, the armor. Oh yeah, look at me. I don't even know if that's my armor or if that's my actual skin. If that's your skin, dude, you've got some stuff. You got some disease or something in there. And then behind them, we have 3 units of picked Achaeans. Now, these guys are going to be some tier 2 spear infantry as well. I didn't focus really any pike infantry over here because I didn't really feel the need to be honest. I didn't really see what he had going over here, else I might have changed it up a bit, but that's neither here nor there. And so that is my left attack point, attacking that gate. Over here on my right flank is also a rather small contingent of troops, but this will definitely be a good point of battle throughout the entire battle. So you can see 30-minute long battle before we finally get this done. So it was a pretty epic battle. We have what, 3 units of Agema. These are very heavy pike infantry. I don't know why they're not set in their spear wall right now, but that's alright. They do look really cool. I like how these units look. They look almost like, for a while there when I was in battle, I was like, oh sweet, I forgot it. I have Spartans? No, but the red cloaks really give it, just really set them off as a really nice unit. And then I have 3 units of peltast, which again, I always thought peltasts were like ranged, but I guess not. But here's a couple of units of them or I guess a unit of them in their spear wall, and their spear wall is just, oh, it's just gorgeous. I'm in love. I'm not gonna lie. I am very much in love with them. Alright, and then manning the battering ram is a unit of Thracian military settlers, which are tier 3 heavy melee infantry, which I thought was really interesting. Never heard of Thracian military settlers, but they are almost like Foxmen. And they have those fox swords with like an arm shield. Not even like an actual shield, just kind of something to protect their arms. I guess since they're all exposed. And then over here I have 3 sets of Megalopolitan picked cavalry. I'm glad I said that right, because I stumbled over it when I was playing with them in this battle. And so that's going to be kind of a heavier front, but our main front is going to be right here in the middle of the city. Now, at this point in time, walls do not function properly. Actually, they don't really function at all. And so you are going to see me attempt, we're just seeing the status of them. I was asked to test it. So these Thracian military settlers are going to try to land on the wall, and they are not going to. But you're going to want to keep your eye out, and hopefully I will remember to keep my eye on this tortoise. That's what this thing is called, because something absolutely hilarious happens when this thing hits the wall that I love, and I hope Apollo catches it, because it was pretty sweet. And so then on my main front, I have a unit of Thracian military settlers who are going to be manning the ram to hit the gates, and then my main force right here. These guys, I got 5 units of white shields. These guys are heavy pike infantry. They're not as heavy as the other guys that I showed earlier, but they are going to be pretty daggum good, and they're going to be pretty useful in battle. Behind them, I have 6 units? Yeah, 6 units of allied Cretan archers. I was going to put archers at each point, but I was like, you know what? I know he's going to put a lot of troops here, and so I'm going to just use all of my archers here on the front line, even though I may accidentally forget to put them in battle until we get a little further on, but that's alright. Over here, obviously, we have a couple of Sacred Squadron. These guys are going to be some heavy melee troops, and they are sweet looking. I like that blue cap. Dude, you got a sweet looking hat. Seriously. I like it. Can I have your hat, dude? I want it. Actually, I want this dude's, because he's got 2 little thingies coming down behind it. He's cooler. Anyways, so we got those guys rocking it. And then I have a unit of Ballista Mobile, and I have another unit over here. The way, because again, city assaults aren't exactly function properly in mods, which is really disappointing. It's not, it's not the Ancient Empire's fault. It's more of Creative Assembly's fault. And so as a result, I had a couple of units of Oxybellies, but they're fixed artillery, and they were like back here somewhere, and I literally, you can't turn them around. They are literally fixed, and so I couldn't use them, which was slightly disappointing, but that's alright. And then we finally have our general, who is commanded by a group of Royal Squadron. These guys just look really, really cool. I really like them. And so that takes up my troops. Let's look over here at Pixelated Apollos, and before I do that, I want to shout out to Mooman. I think that's who this is. I'll give a link in the description. If you guys have not checked out this dude's cities that he's built several. It is absolutely amazing. This is a very gorgeous settlement. This is the Pergamon settlement. So this is, of course, just being, since we needed a Siege of Pergamon, made sense to use Pergamon's thing. He's got some awesome choke points, which would be a really, really good way to defend. Not necessarily a good way to attack. But let's get into Apollo's troops. So he has quite a few troops as well. He has 600 less than we do, but his troops are defending, so he actually kind of has an advantage. So we're just going to do the same thing. Over on his right, he has mercenary Galatian riders and a couple of Agema Cavs. So these guys, he's gonna charge these guys right out of the bat, and it kind of does some stiff to me, but that was actually a really smart move, and he said he did it really for cinematics. This is what I love about Apollo. He's so much into the cinematics and making really sweet looking videos. He doesn't care if he sacrifices some units, and I like that. I like that he wanted to go for the cinematic right from the start, and he doesn't really care how he gets there. He doesn't even care if he loses or if he wins. He just wants some really, really cool shots. So shout out to Apollo for being like the coolest guy I've played against. Just saying. So he has those guys on his right flank, my left. Over here, manning some streets, he has 4 units of mercenary Thuriophori, however you want to say that. These guys are going to be some tier 1 spear infantry. This is just going to be some cheap recruits that are able to hold the line just fairly well. Over here on his left flank, my right flank, he has a couple of units of Mycenaean cav. These are going to be some light bow cav. These light bow cav are going to do quite well in battle. I was actually surprised at how well they did, to be honest, because they're tier 1 light bow cav, but their stats and their fighting suggests otherwise. Manning the streets here, he has a couple of units of Bronze Shields pikemen. These heavy pike infantry are definitely going to wreak some havoc, and he's going to get some real good use out of those guys. It was a very, very good, very long battle that we're about to fight, but it's totally worth it. And then supporting those, we have some Adelaide Royal Guard. Yeah, these guys look really cool as well. Very nice looking uniforms, very sweet looking shields. And then the middle formation, he has a majority of his troops, and this is where a majority of the battle is going to take place. Manning the gates, he has a couple of units of Bronze Shield pikemen. Again, look at that. It's just, I really like down shots. That just looks really cool to me. I really like it. And then behind them, he's going to have some mercenary Galatians. He put in quite a few mercenary Galatians with this battle, and not that I'm complaining, it's just funny because I was like, didn't I just take care of that unit? He's like, yeah, I've got another one. So he's got like, what, he's got 4, 5 here maybe? No, he's got more Adelaide Royal Guard, mercenary Galatians, mercenary Galatians, mercenary Galatians. These guys are going to do pretty well, though. These are tier 3 heavy cav. Yeah, we see them, and we see what they can do. He has a few units of mercenary Thracian Peltasts in the center as well. These are going to be melee, though. These aren't going to be the spearmen like my Peltasts are for sure. Sitting in the back, he's got units scattered out as reinforcements. He's got a ballista over here, which he'll use later in the battle. He has some allied Cretan archers, and I will say this, allied Cretan archers are actually some pretty strong units. They are armored, and they will not rout very easily, and so that we'll be on the lookout for those guys. Sitting here way in the reserves are a couple of units of mercenary Thracians again. He has some Bronze Shield pikemen in the back, some more allied Cretan archers, and another ballista mobile. And then sitting way in a spot where we couldn't even get to, I think, if we wanted to, he has his general, which is a unit of a Gema cav. Alright, so that kind of lays everything out. Like I said, this is a grinding battle. 11,300 men. You are going to see some frame drop, just to let you know, but we're showing off just the might and the majesty of this mod rather than going just for pure cinematics. So we're really showing off just some epic moments here, and that's what's going to happen. So let's go ahead and hit the play button, and we'll move on. Now, another thing he does is he doesn't, this is again why I love Apollo, he's like, dude, I'm not going to guard these gates like everyone else would, and you know, like that V formation. He's like, nah. He's like, I'm going to pull back and let you get in the gates so we can get some sweet battles. I'm like, dude, you're awesome. So that's what he's going to do, and that's what we're going to see, and again, that's why I really like Apollo. We're actually going to fast forward because I thought this moving up was actually the start of the battle. I think we just move around a few things just a little bit. There we go. Now we're going to attack. You can see my units start to take the walls, so we are moving all 3 battering rams at the same time. I moved this tortoise up, and again, I'm moving my tower, which won't do anything, up. And so we're just going to kind of hang out here and just see what happens and react to the way that Apollo starts going with his offensive. So we got onagers launching. That's another thing I talked to Petilius about, is that the onagers, they aren't doing much damage. They're not doing, I mean, I think I used everything, and I think by the time by the end of this, only like 65% of the wall was destroyed by the time all the ammo was used up. So there's that. But he said he'll work on it. So as you can see, he's going to pull his cav out for a nice early morning charge. which is not something I expect at all. There's absolutely nothing to be expected about that sally forth, especially considering that he kind of has the advantage. He didn't have to do this whatsoever. So he's going to bring his cav out. They're just going to come pouring out of the gates. And we are going to react, of course, but we are not nearly as quick as his cav are swift at all. So we're going to receive some hits. Obviously, this is going to take some fire damage. And I don't even think about stopping this Peltas, which actually kind of ruins me for just a little bit. I'm keeping an eye on this Tortoise, man, because you're going to want to see what happens. It's absolutely hilarious. I love it. So we are reacting. We're not reacting quick enough. Not enough at all. And as a result, after these missiles get thrown, a beautiful charge in the back by Apollo. Absolutely gorgeous. And another beautiful charge. He just charges his cav in right in the middle of the battle, and he's able to peel away before anything else happens. And that engagement's going to go poorly for me, but nothing will beat this. You ready for this, guys? I don't even care about anything else right now, because this is absolutely hilarious. We're going to slow it down, and we're just going to watch. So this Tortoise is actually a really legit unit. It's a ram, but it can take down walls, much like in the olden days of Rome 1. I think in Rome 1 you could use battering rams to take down walls. I can't remember which Total War that was, but I was fairly certain it happened. So this is a pretty sweet little looking siege setup here. Alright guys, so we're getting that Tortoise right up to the wall. And I'm like, alright, sweet, what's going to happen? Let's do it, let's ram it, let's see if we can't bust through it, and oh boom! Everything explodes! Afterwards, Petilius told me that's what happens anytime any unit, anything engages the wall like that, especially like the Tortoise, it just blows up and the wall just blows up. So I don't actually use that. I really don't know why. I think I just kind of forgot that it existed, which probably could have turned it pretty a lot better. I guess actually I may use it. But we're going to come back over here because he's got his cav surrounded me, man. I mean, he is just coming at me hardcore. And there's not a whole lot I can really do. He's going to charge me from the side. He's going to flank me. And those guys, they just can't handle that charge, man. As you can see, they rout pretty stinking quick. These picked Achaeans are going to rout. He's going to side charge me with these dudes. And these, man, that mercenary Galatian riders, they really do some serious damage. And they just move so quick that I can't react. It's just not possible. So we're still going to deal with them. Over here, we have finally reached the gates. And we're going to get those gates down pretty quick. And then as you can see, we land on the walls, but it just doesn't do anything for us. That's just part of modding with CA at the moment with Attila. They seem to kind of just abandon everything. So as you can see, we are losing desperately over here. I mean, it is horrifying how desperate. I mean, we've lost all of our spears over here. We're going to lose that unit of mercenary Thorakatai. And this unit of mercenary Thorakatai, I'm like, what the crap, man? So seeing that we are getting absolutely wrecked, I'm pulling my Sacred Squadron over to see if they can't come and help. And it could be that I can't even move units through that spot. I'm not sure. So we broke through the walls here, though. We're going to get our Thracian military settlers to go and start engaging. He's, of course, got his Bronze Shield pikemen. And that's not going to work very well. Yeah. We're going to move that along. And so this dude, of course, he's going to get wrecked. He's just hurting, man. His friends have all routed. And these are they're just wrecking him up. It's absolutely destructive. But, as you can see, we're going to start splitting our troops here. They're going to be able to fight back. I moved these Thracian military settlers over here because I didn't want him to engage right off the bat and take me out that quick. So our Sacred Squadron, they've lined up. We're just waiting for the call. Waiting for the call from the general. Don't worry, fellow brethren, we will avenge you. We will avenge you. Oh, and we do. Oh, hit him in the side. Oh, there we go. Bronze meets brown in an epic clash. That was amazing. That worked quite well. We actually are able to rout right off the bat his Agema Cav. He's going to lose his mercenary Galatian riders, and we're going to be able to swarm those other guys and rout those. So he's going to lose that left flank. And had we moved quicker, we probably could have won this side and moved quick enough, but things just didn't work out. We are fighting a battle on 3 separate fronts, and this is a 1v1, so I'm having to deal with working on 40 different units, all working in tandem at the same time. So we were able to get some units in through here. I figured we would have. But as you can see, he saw that his cav got decimated. Had I moved quick enough, we would have been able to move through and probably punch through and take those guys out. But he is actually going to move his mercenary Thuriophori over and secure that gate, which is really going to extend this battle out. There were a few key moments that each of us had, in which case we could have really quickly turned the tide of battle. It just didn't work out in our favor. Again, 40 units, and he's got 30-something, I've got 30-something. It's hard to really micromanage 3 different entry points and to be able to work all of those at the same time. It's just hard to do that. A 2v2 is much more preferable, but for reasons that didn't work out. So he's just chilling for the most part. His units are chilling. My Thracian military settlers got wrecked. And they just got absolutely wrecked. So I'm moving my Peltast in, and I'm eventually going to move my White Shields in and hopefully take the battle there. Now I've set a whole bunch of formations here. We're going to hopefully press against those Bronze Shield pikemen and be able to do some sort of damage. But for right now, our Thracian military settlers, they're just going to chill. Ha! Ha! We move our cav in as well because I saw an opening over here. Be able to move my megalopolitan picked cav over there. Try and push through and try and get some spear units into here to try to kind of push my advantage. We'll see if that works for sure. But over here, we've now got a new flank that we have to deal with. Some mercenary Thuriophori are fighting our mercenary Thuracatai, and they are going to just kind of get it grind and at a standstill. Our Peltas are pushing against their Thuriophori, but I'm like, you know what? I've got them. I've got this whole avenue, but at the same time, Apollo is like, oh crap, my mercenary Thuriophori, they're not where they're supposed to be. Oh crap, can we slip through? Can we slip through? I don't know. We barely slipped through. There we go. We're going to meet them in battle briefly, but we're definitely going to just push through. There we go. Look at that clashing. Look at that clash going on. But we are able to squeeze a unit past and start taking out those allied Cretan archers. But we get a couple of units caught. That's going to really push us back a little bit. Over here on the right flank, though, he's moving his Mycenaean cav out of the way because he realizes my megalopolitan picked cavalry are going to be able to take that dude out pretty quickly, and he's actually going to move his reserves. It is good that Apollo had reserves because, I mean, at these choke points, it was really easy to get reserves, but for him especially. Oh, but he saved his butt by having reserves. I will tell you that. Reserves matter 100% in ancient empires because the fatigue factor that they've drawn in really determines the results of battles. So as you can see, a lot of things are going on. I finally realized that I don't have my mercenary or my allied Cretan archers in. I want to move those in and really start putting some pressure on this center column. We're moving the rest of our White Shields in so we can get that going on. But over here, as you can see, my cav were not able to push those allied Cretan archers back. And I mean, it was a little crazy. And so, yeah, we're going to get hit in the back by some mercenary Thurophori. And then he's also gonna start wrecking those Peltasts. Absolutely destroying them. And then up here over on the right flank, my Spartan warriors, Spartan-esque warriors, are going to start taking on his Galatians and his Thorocoti. But overall, it's still, let's look at a strategic map just so we can get a hang of what's going on here. So you can see we're still on 3 different fronts. We got routed at this. Of course, we're going to get routed by the mercenary Thurophori. But over here, it's just a grind fest, man. We're going to grind here for quite a while. We're going to grind here for quite a while, and I'm hoping that bringing troops around to this side will help turn the tide of battle. And it wasn't until then that I realized I didn't have really the room over here. There's nothing I could do to bring those guys around. So we really were limited in our avenues, and Apollo did a very good job of plugging those up. Let's take a slow-mo look, though. Take a slow-mo look because there are some sweet animations in this whole series. It's just, oh, there we go. Did you see that jump? That jump was sweet. So apparently there were quite a few animations that were just unused. I think that's how Petilius put it. Just unused animations to help optimize the game. And as such, they kind of unlocked them. If I said that right, if not, Petilius, you definitely leave a comment in the comment section down below and let me know what really is going on. Because you said there's a whole lot of different animations in here. And we're definitely looking at them. I mean, there's just a lot more going on than what meets the eye. Alright, so that was a pretty sweet little epic shot. Let's look in the center here. Let's see what's going on. We got pikemen versus pikemen. So you can see we're moving some more pikemen in. Just don't kill your own troops, dudes. Pike versus pike battle. I mean, that just looks really cool. I really just like this top-down shot. Really gives you a sense of that epicness. And then over here on our left flank, we're still just holding out. We're holding out to the best of our abilities. And there's not a whole lot that we can do. So let's go ahead and hit it at regular speed. We got our Peltasts and Agema who are over here. We're going up against these bronze shield pikemen. Just look at everything that's going on, man. Look at the animations. I'm in love. I'm in love with all these animations, man. Oh, just look at it. It's so glorious. So many screenshots to be had. Alright, so over here, we're able to, well, we lose our spears for one thing. So we have 3 units of cav that go up against mercenary Thorocoti and some mercenary Galatians, and we can't take them on. So I'm going to have to do some evading a little bit to make sure that works. And over here, we finally got our Cretan archers into battle. It's about time, right? Yeah, it's about time. Let's see if we can't get some shots off. That looks really cool. So those are going to go all the way over. And they're going to start sniping out the enemy. There we go. Just a lot of really great screenshots to be had in this battle. Now, so they have completely lost that front line. We gain that front line in the center, so we're going to move units up there to help fight those guys off. Over here, it's still a grind fest. We're able to squeeze some troops through, but I didn't really, I don't know why I really did that, to be honest. I really had no advantage with those Thureophori units stuck in there. But maybe I'm going to go after these Thracian peltasts. We've seized an enemy victory point, so we went over here. It didn't really do much. I guess it gave us a battle-wide morale boost. And so then decide what the heck. We're gonna throw units at this guy. And then as soon as I thought that, I'm like, you know what? This unit of archers is available. So I'm gonna peel 2 guys off, and we're gonna go in here and in here. Hopefully be able to take out those Cretan archers. Over here, it's just a grind fest. It is just a grind fest. There's no other words to describe what's going on in this battle outside of a grind fest. But again, that's what you get when you have 2 sets of pikemen fighting each other. Let's get some slow-mo action going on here. Can't get right in the thick of it. Look at all those crisscrossing spears, man. It's absolutely insane. So I bring my general in. We are slowly fighting these bronze shield pikemen, and that's when Apollo finally starts to use his ballista as well as his archers to fire on these guys. I blocked these mercenary Galatians from being able to attack me from the flank, and I think that really helps me a lot in this battle. I mean, we both have so many units that we can afford to send units to go fight. Oh, he kind of hits his own troops, man. Not doing too hot with the shoosting. Yeah, he's kind of just hitting his own troops at this point. Let's take a look over here. We were able to rout those troops. So we have 2 units here. Again, there's really not a lot I can do because those Thureophori are still in battle, and there's no way for me to get around to these 2 spots. So we're able to rout those Thracian peltasts early again. Our next big grind is going to be taking out these mercenary Galatians. These guys put up a very, very good fight. I very much applaud them for their valor in battle, because there's a lot of them, and they're not easily taken down. Alright, so over here I've engaged my cav on 3 different fronts. Over here I've got these Mycenaean cav going up against the Mycenaean cav. Megalopolitan, picked cav. We're fighting some Thorocati. I thought they were Galatians again. And then we're fighting the Cretan archers. And the Cretan archers, man, they're not doing too bad. They really, just really aren't. We still got 15 minutes in this battle. So let's go ahead and fast forward just a little bit, because I don't want to be grinding on for 15 more minutes. Basically, we just play a game of grind it on as best as we can. He sends some more reinforcements over here. These bronze shield pikemen are still holding their ground. Neither of these troops are giving up. My peltasts are like, yeah, you're not going to take me down that easy. You're not going to take me down that easy at all. And so he's going to keep shooting with his artillery, and it's just not working, man. It's inaccurate. I don't know what the deal was. And then we're going to hit these mercenary Galatians in their sides. Oh, getting hit by some spearmen, or by some arrows. Some spearmen. Psh. Awesome. And then we kind of scattered these troops. We tried to make them to come in and then break up. So we were able to break up their formation, which really helps us be able to take these guys on, those Thureophori. But over here, man, we're still just going to grind against those 2 units of spear infantry, because it's a pike fest out there, man. It is just a pike fest. So I was able to rout this unit of spear infantry, so now I have a slight upper hand. This is something I haven't had before up until this very moment. So that being said, we are going to move on into the middle of the column so we can kind of get a better idea on what's going on. Over here, it's still just grinding and grinding away. There's really just no apparent end in sight. But I am able to move my cav as well as my general over here. My thoughts is we're going to try and take out his general. If we can take out his general, then we'll definitely be able to win the battle. But that proves to be a mite more difficult than it would originally seem. Plus, these mercenary Galatians are holding out like crazy. Usually other units would have fled at this point. But there's something about this unit of Galatians that really just holds the battle. And then they're going to have some bronze shield pikemen reinforcing them later on. Alright, so I realized we couldn't take those guys on. I thought that he had taken out my general. But he didn't. My general was just back here, just chilling, while some of his units were up in front fighting the other general. No worries, guys. So we are starting to rout. We routed that unit of mercenary Galatians. We're starting to rout that bronze shield pikeman. And so I hope by my show of force by my white shields will help balance that. He tried sending some mercenary Galatians over. It's not going to work. I have a unit of white shields over here. And then we got archers who are just firing into this pikeman the whole time. That's part of the reason why they're routing, is due to the flame shot. Now over here I did lose a unit of cav, and I am going to lose this unit of megalopolitan pick cav against this Thracatai. But this unit does eventually win the allied Cretan archers battle. And so we will most likely use him in the days to come. And as of right now, the units are pretty much evenly matched. The armies are. We still have 500 more troops than they do, but that doesn't really seem to matter. Now he did a smart thing, and he moved his Cretan archers into the way so that he could bring in reinforcements. That was a very, very smart move on Apollo's hand to make sure that we don't get behind and really take those out. But most of that is null now because our white shields have broken those bronze shield pikemen, and we're going to move our allied Cretan archers up. Not our allied Cretan archers, our white shield pikemen up. Over here, it's the same old thing that we've seen this entire battle. These guys are just holding out. They will hold out pretty much the entire match, and that's really quite impressive on both sides. Just the fact that this unit of Peltas, I really do apologize for all the yawning. It is really early, and we did not get a good night's sleep because the kiddo decided he wanted to be awake. So these guys fight it out. These megalopolitan, I probably won't ever use them again unless I just needed a good skirmish cav, because they are not doing the job. They are taking on allied Cretan archers, tier 1 allied Cretan archers, and they are losing, and I don't like that. So as you see, we lost that other unit. I think we actually may lose this unit. I'm not sure. These guys flash for a very long time. That's all I remember. Alright, anything super interesting that continues to happen? A little bit. This guy lost a unit, so he only has one unit of mercenary Thuriophori. I know I butcher it every time, and I say something different every single time. But that's alright. And so we're able to take our 2 cav and our general, and we're able to start putting a lot of pressure on his general, in the hopes that by cracking his general, we are able to gain the upper hand and take over the battle. So we're just chilling here, right? I'm actually decide that with this unit of mercenary Galatians, again, more mercenary Galatians. He has so many of them. We'd go after the allied Cretan archers. I figured that was a good thing to do. Those guys will rout pretty quick. And then we have this battle. Absolutely crazy. So much going on. We are still winning by now over 1,000 units. He is losing them in bigger droves than I am. These two still duking it out. And then these two units still holding out like troops. These guys are beasts. They're absolute beasts. Hold on, hold your strength, hold the line. Let's see, I believe my royal squadron with my general, they plunge into the back of the catapults, or the ballistas, excuse me. And I think we're actually able to take out those mercenary Galatians as well. 6.5 minutes left on the clock. Let's see what happens when we push it into forward time just a little bit. Alright, so as you can see, it's nice and quiet up here. Nice little bird's eye view. No one's really on that right flank. It took me a while to realize that these guys were all alone. Again, there's several things that we could have done that would have increased our chances at winning. It just really didn't happen for whatever reason. So they are able to break those 2 units of cav, and as soon as I see him break those units of cav, I actually move my general out of the way and hope that they can't reach me, because if they can reach me and take him out, I know it's game over for me. Anyways. And so these guys are just going to chill. I mean, look at them. It's like, let's Netflix and chill, dude. Bronze shield pikemen going up against, not are they mine? Just some peltasts, it appears. Yeah, because those Attila Adalid Royal Guard, they're going to smash in behind them, and it doesn't really seem to matter. I don't know what is up with these pikemen over here, but they are just beasts. They are hosses, able to hold out against that charge. So I finally defeated those allied Cretan archers. The day is saved for us on the flanks. We now own pretty much both flanks. I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And so here we go. We got our mercenary Thorakatai. And our peltasts, they're going to start coming up and pushing and putting some pressure on the general. The swordsman, he's starting to crack. But again, look, there's what, 3 units of mercenaries in here? Yeah, including 2 units of those frickin' mercenary Galatians. It's like, holy crap, man. That's a lot of mercenary Galatians. So, in that effort, I was able to squeeze in through this building and take out this unit of ballista. That's what's really cool about this map. I could squeeze in there if I wanted to, I believe. You would just obviously rather not, because you can't really have a solid front. But this unit of mercenary Galatians is finally routing as well. And it's all about trying to capture that general, man. Trying to get him to roll on. Oh, 3 minutes left in the battle. Let's see what happens. So that dude's dead. He's going to move his general all the way around to different places. I'm trying. Oh, there we go. There we go. Finally, this flank is ours. We took out a unit of his over here. We're going to go after those bronze shield pikemen. We are going to win that engagement, by the way. And we're just now pushing as many units as we can to try and find the enemy general and then be able to kill him. Now we are going to move some units and take out this ballista. He is going to take his units, which we lost one over here. He's going to take his units and he's going to put them where he thinks they should go. I see that and I start moving my troops to repel them otherwise. And I'm finally able to see his general again. Things are looking up for me pretty darn well. And we are going to start shoosting with our archers. Run, lads. Run, lads. Alright, well, we are still engaged over here. We started a whole new engagement, essentially. But just look at that. That is just some really good animations that are going on there. And he has yet a unit of Adalid Royal Guard. He's going to bring his general in, which we're going to try and get some volleys off first. There we go. He is going to plunge into my archers, but they are actually doing pretty well. And this is actually kind of a weird thing that happened to Apollo as well. I only have like every other unit with flaming arrows on, so there's really not a whole lot of explanation why this happens. All of a sudden he's wavering from army losses and he routs. That's really, I haven't seen that a lot, and so it was very interesting to see that guy rout when he did. And now that should pretty much cause a pretty epic morale debuff, in which case we're just going to pile over him and take him out. There we go. There's one unit. We only have one more unit to go. There we go. Alright, that was a close victory. The enemy is broken. Death and dishonor are theirs today, but only by a single sword stroke. We will end the replay. Alright guys, so as you see, I lost 2,712. He lost 3,147. Look at that, 280, only 11, 255. I mean, with that many troops, 414, etc., etc. Over here, look at that. I mean, he did pretty darn well. His Bronze Shield Pikemen did well. His Mercenary Galatians, certainly his Agema Cab before I was able to take those out. And then his Bronze Shield Pikemen really held the line. A very epic battle. Oh, it was just so much fun to play against Paulo. His channel will be in the description link down below, and for sure. And I hope to look forward to playing many more battles with him. He really makes the game enjoyable, and I love playing with him. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this battle. I hope you got to see a siege that was enjoyable to watch and to play with, or to watch, and that the commentary was good. Be on the lookout for Apollo's version. It should be coming up on the channel soon-ish. He's not quite sure when. But yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Be on the lookout for more Ancient Empires battles. There are going to be a few more sieges, including some 2v2s, and maybe even some 3v3s. I don't know if it'll be able to handle it at this point. But yeah, so an epic siege. I can't get it out of my head. It was just absolutely amazing. It was a very, very well played battle. I'm like shaking because I love how much that battle was. Even though it was a grind fest, it still worked out really well. But other than that, guys, I'll shut up and let you go. Be on the lookout for more Ancient Empires content. This is Havoc, and I'm out of here. Peace!